You've seen them your whole life, in textbooks, in movies, on posters, behind your teacher's desk, the pyramids. And somewhere along the way, you formed a picture of what's inside them. A burial chamber, a mummy, maybe some treasure hidden behind a trap door, maybe a curse. Here's the thing. Almost none of that is true. 3 Great Pyramids at Giza are the most studied buildings on Earth. Archaeologists, engineers, physicists, and explorers have spent centuries mapping their interiors, scanning them with everything from X-rays to cosmic ray particles. And what all of that effort keeps revealing is the same uncomfortable truth. These buildings, the largest stone structures ever built by human hands, are almost completely solid. The chambers inside them take up less than a fraction of a percent of the total structure. Everything else? Just stone. Millions of tons of it, stacked with a precision that still makes engineers uncomfortable. So what is actually in there? Let's go through all 3, and then let's talk about the parts nobody can get into yet. Start with the big one. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, built around 2600 BCE, is the largest, the oldest, and by far the most complex of the 3. You enter through the north face, not the original entrance, which was sealed and hidden. The one tourists use today was forced open by medieval treasure hunters sometime in the 9th century. From there, a passage drops steeply downward at 26 degrees, cutting through limestone and then through bedrock itself, leading eventually to what archaeologists call the Subterranean chamber. It's rough, unfinished, about the size of a decent apartment, with a dead-end pit dug into its floor for reasons nobody has ever conclusively explained. Some believe the burial plan changed mid-construction. Others think it had a ritual purpose that we simply no longer understand. Either way, it's empty. It has been empty since the day it was carved. But here's where the building starts to surprise you. Partway down that descending passage, there's a junction, tight enough that you'd walk past it if you didn't know to look. An ascending passage branches upward, climbing steeply for about 39 meters. And then, without warning, it opens into the Grand Gallery. If there's one space inside the Great Pyramid that people genuinely weren't expecting, this is it. The Grand Gallery is 47 meters long and nearly 9 meters tall. Its walls rise in corbelled steps that lean slightly inward as they climb, narrowing the ceiling to a slot at the top. In photographs, it looks like a cathedral hall shrunk and tilted and buried under 1,000,000 tons of stone. The limestone walls are still smooth after 4,500 years. Engineers still debate its exact purpose, partly structural, partly a loading system for sealing the chambers after the burial. But standing inside it, the engineering is genuinely impressive in a way that photographs don't fully convey. At the top of the Grand Gallery is the King's Chamber. This is the room, the one. Built entirely of red granite from Aswan because it's the only stone hard enough to bear what's above it. The ceiling is 9 granite beams, each weighing about 25 tons, laid flat across the room. And above those beams are 5 more compartments, one above the other, not designed as rooms, but as pressure distributors, each one redirecting hundreds of thousands of tons of limestone away from the chamber below. The engineers who designed this understood load distribution in stone at a level that wouldn't be formally described in physics for thousands of years. And it worked. The King's Chamber ceiling has not moved. The room is empty. The granite sarcophagus is still there. It had to be placed before the walls were finished because it's too wide to fit through any of the passages. But whatever was inside it is gone. No mummy, no treasure, no inscription on the walls, because in this period, Egyptians considered burial chamber walls sacred blank space. Just a massive stone box in a room of red granite at the end of a tunnel so narrow you have to crouch and angle your shoulders to get through. On the way up to the Grand Gallery, there's a side passage leading to a smaller room called the Queen's Chamber, a name given by Arab explorers with no real evidence behind it. The room is empty, has a pointed limestone ceiling, and contains 2 narrow shafts in its north and south walls that disappear into the masonry at precise angles. For a long time, nobody knew if these shafts opened to the outside, served as ventilation, or had some astronomical or religious purpose. In the 1990s, a robot with a camera was sent up them. It found something nobody expected: a small stone door with copper handles. In 2011, another robot got a camera through a hole drilled in that door. Behind it was another stone door. What's behind the second door? Nobody knows, because nobody has been through it. And then, in 2017, something genuinely new happened. A team using cosmic ray muon imaging, the same technology used to scan the inside of volcanoes, detected a void inside the pyramid that had been invisible to every previous investigation. A large, empty space, at least 30 meters long, sitting above the Grand Gallery, in a section of the pyramid that should have been solid limestone. In 2023, another study suggested a corridor near the north face connects to this void. In 2024, a new survey found previously unseen graffiti in the relieving chambers above the king's chamber, a date inscription carved into stone above the burial room that no one had seen before. The building is 4,500 years old. It is still producing new information. The middle pyramid belongs to Khafre, Khufu's son. It's slightly shorter than his father's, but built on higher ground, which is why from a distance it sometimes looks taller. Don't be fooled. Inside, it's considerably simpler. 2 entrances on the north face, one at ground level, one about 11 meters up, converge on a single burial chamber carved into the bedrock beneath the pyramid's base. The chamber has a gabled limestone ceiling, a different structural solution from his father's flat granite design. The sarcophagus was still sealed when the Italian explorer Giovanni Belzoni opened the pyramid in 1818. He found bones inside. Analysis later suggested they came from a bull, either placed there deliberately or intruded later. Khafre's mummy, like his father's, has never been found. There's a horizontal side chamber partway along one of the lower passages that Egyptologists still can't agree on. Storage? A decoy room meant to mislead tomb robbers? A ritual space for a statue? Nobody knows. The most dramatic recent claim about Khafre's pyramid comes from a 2022 peer-reviewed study using satellite radar. The team said they detected massive structures beneath the pyramid, chambers reaching down to extraordinary depths. The claims are controversial. They haven't been independently verified, but they're a reminder that the second pyramid, less studied than the first, may not have given up everything it has. The smallest of the 3 is Menkaure's, roughly a third the height of the Great Pyramid, and the last one built on the plateau. But don't dismiss it. Inside, the burial chamber is lined with granite. The passages are shorter and more direct than the other 2. When European archaeologists opened it in the 19th century, they found a beautifully carved basalt sarcophagus inside, one of the finest pieces of Old Kingdom stonework ever recovered from a royal tomb. They loaded it onto a ship bound for England. The ship sank in the Mediterranean. The sarcophagus is at the bottom of the sea. In 2025, a joint German and Egyptian team using radar, ultrasound, and electrical resistivity scanning detected an air-filled void beneath the pyramid. Remote camera images suggested it might contain a hidden second entrance, though there was no sign of human activity inside, ancient or modern. A separate void near the mortuary temple, east of the pyramid, may, according to Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, contain religious statues, possibly including a statue of Menkaure himself. Neither void has been opened. Egyptian law prohibits destructive investigation of the Giza site. Here's where all 3 pyramids arrive at the same honest conclusion. These buildings have been studied for longer than almost anything else on Earth. They've survived medieval treasure hunters, Victorian archaeologists who were sometimes less careful than they should have been, and a modern tourism industry that puts thousands of human bodies inside them every day, exhaling moisture that slowly degrades the limestone. They've been scanned, measured, drilled, and imaged from every available angle. And in 2026, all 3 of them still contain spaces that no human being has entered in 45 centuries, spaces whose contents are unknown, spaces whose purpose is debated.
The popular idea that we understand the pyramids, that a century of archaeology has unlocked their secrets, is itself a kind of myth. The chambers that exist are smaller and emptier than the movies suggest, but the rooms we haven't reached yet, the corridor behind the second stone door in the Queen's Chamber, the 30-meter void above the Grand Gallery, the chambers beneath Menkaure, those are still exactly where the builders left them, waiting for a technology careful enough to reach them without destroying what's inside. The pyramids aren't mysterious because we don't know enough. They're mysterious because the more we learn, the more precise the questions become, and the more clearly we can see the outlines of the things we still can't touch. If there was ever a building worth being patient about, it's this one. If stories like this, where the real answer is stranger and more interesting than the popular version, is what you want more of, stick around. And let me know in the comments, which of the 3 pyramids do you think is most likely hiding something significant, and what do you think is behind that second stone door?